It was a friendly on paper, but the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Azzurri of Italy, they were unbeaten in the quest for a ticket to Brazil. They ensured that the 15,000 fans at the Craven Cottage sat through the game. It's sport this morning on Channels Television. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Coming up on the program, 147 runners from 10 countries to participate in a Obudu mountain race starting this Friday, and 15 weightlifters have been selected for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. And the President Chibundo Nwanche will be joining us live from Abuja. Ghana FA President predicts West African countries for the World Cup as Egypt sets to overall a 6-1 deficit, while Algeria bank on home advantage. England are ready for German test, and Iceland, with just a population of 320,000, seek a first ever World Cup appearance. Join me and Austin Okon-Akman after this highlight between Italy and Nigeria.
Strength in depth there. Goalkeeping department looks pretty secure too, doesn't it? Maggio here for Balotelli. Giuseppe Rossi. Antonio Candreva here. Giaccherini, surely! Inside 2 second-half minutes, the Italians level at 2 apiece. Emanuele Giaccherini's third Azzurri goal, his third this year, has tied this pulsating Fulham friendly at 2 goals each. Balotelli here for Rossi, who then sees Candreva. He finds Giaccherini. Egide's hard work undone, and the Italians have got themselves back to level pegging at least. Emanuele Giaccherini of England Sunderland makes it 2-2.
Good morning, and that was a brilliant one from the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Azzurri of Egypt. Austin is here this morning. Austin, good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. It's good to be doing this with you this morning. For
the very first time, right? I must say. That's a nice one.
Baby, let's score.
Okay, what?
Let's go.
Let's go, definitely. Yeah. We'll start with the goals. Now, the game, of course, you monitor it live. You even Sport Tonight, just analyzing the game and all that. It was supposed to be friendly, but from what we saw, it's more like an avenue to actually test new players. A situation whereby you have a Shola Amobi scoring, and even Bright Dike, you've been calling for him to actually be part of the national team.
That's it, because I watched him train, and I could see his hunger, to play football for Nigeria. And not just that, he's the kind of player that if you give him a chance he will take it. And he took it yesterday. And for me, for the team to get better, it needs to be competitive. Our reserve should be as good as the regulars. So that when somebody is injured, you say, no problem, this guy has been on good form and is going to come. I think that's what Coach Steve Keshi is trying to do. Picking 23 players to the World Cup will be a big. They
really have to compete for shirt. A very big competition.
If you are not on top of your game,
you can't.
You will not make it. And it's a big call for players such as Ahmed Musa, Brown, Idea, and other players that think that they have a regular spot in a regular place in the Super Eagles. These other players, and for me, yesterday was a big one also for the local players, the likes of Solomon Kwambe and Benjamin Francis.
Yes.
Playing the likes
he had an assist. He was the one who assisted Shola Amobi for the goal. Shola Mumbi assisted by
beautiful.
I think the synergy is really working
for
well.
For that, it will only tell him to get better with his game. You know, playing with the likes of Pirlo, Balotelli,
precisely. How was he able to checkmate him?
You know, that's the point. What's his name? We used to have problem with Azubike Ogwekwe that is too slow. Yesterday,
he's not making full use of his body. His built, you know, he's supposed to be.
That's the point. That's why he's slow. But yesterday, to me, he was fast because he was learning how to do man-to-man marking. He was learning how to run, how to cover up for Boabona. And that's what we need. It's a friendly game, but it has actually tested their character.
Of course.
It has tested the strength of the team.
And the fact that they can always come back from behind and at least try to win a game.
That's it. That's the character play we're talking about. Good one for Coach Steven Keshi and the team.
Yeah, it's a good one for them. For the Italians, nothing much to talk about. Rossi notching his first goal for Italy in 2 years since 2011. That was the last time he scored for the national team. Okay, moving on from here now, just move straight to the next one. The teams that will be playing their qualifiers, trying to qualify for the World Cup. We'll start with the African qualifiers, the second leg fixtures, where you have Egypt will be hosting Ghana. How big is this game? I think they have a very, very huge task, and they're saying that they will ensure they qualify for the World Cup. How possible that will be? And of course, Algeria are hoping to use the home advantage and beat Burkina Faso because they've not lost at home in almost 12 games, if not more than that.
Egypt, Ghana. I think Bob Bradley doesn't need footballers to do that. He needs miracle workers to actually get on the pitch.
So what should he do? And
then play. But I'm a newsman. I'd like to see what Egypt can do with that result. It looks impossible, but this is football. Anything can happen. If Ghana can score 6 at home, Bob Bradley is saying, why can't Egypt do the same in Cairo? So let's see. We'll just wait, see what can come out of it.
It will be magical. Algeria unbeaten in 19 games at home since 2002.
And they'll be saying to themselves, no chance for Egypt. Let's remain the only North African country to represent, Africa at the World Cup. So Algeria will throw everything they have in that one against Burkina Faso, going away to get 2 goals. You don't want to now just 1-0, and they are there. So.
Okay, and they actually blamed the referee for the first leg of that game, but that is all gone by. But if you check Burkina Faso, with the return of Alan Traore, who missed last month a first leg due to a leg injury, he's back on the squad now. And of course, it's going to be definitely a difficult one for the Algerian national side. All right, let's just listen to Bob Bradley, what he had to say concerning the game against Ghana, how they can defeat them in Cairo later today.
Egypt in the moment, sadly, is divided country. And I told them we must be different. We must be united. We must find a way where we can not only be strong as a team, but maybe be a good example for everyone. And that is still, as we prepare for this last match, what we are all about. We represented Egypt, and we represented Egyptian football in a strong, proud, good way. 90 minutes in Kumasi didn't change that. Yes, it was a terrible result. We accept that. But it doesn't change the way these players and the coaching staff have represented Egypt during a tough time in a way that I think people can still feel good about. And now we understand how much is at stake as we get ready for this game against Ghana on Tuesday.
So much is definitely at stake, right?
Big one. And then when you find yourself in situations as these, you become a motivational speaker. You say that Egypt is a divided, country, and then they need to be different, and they need to approach the game like they have something to get out of it.
I think with winning of the Champions League, in Africa Champions League, might even help because you have most of the players playing in Alpha League of Egypt who won it a record 8 times.
North Africa is doing so well with club football. So
even the crisis, despite the crisis.
So you start wondering what's happening with the national team. So it's really deep.
Maybe policies or something.
Well,
where you have some players supporting.
FIFA has agreed to bring the game to Cairo, and then they've said they want to use this game to bring peace to the region. I think